Hey, thanks very much, Kevin. Well, it's really heartwarming to see that pride in the Jays reflected across the city in an otherwise cool day today. So 9 degrees in Toronto, 12 as you head towards Windsor, Sarnia, London. We're still seeing a cool wind at play from the north, but not for much longer because that switch up is already unfolding in parts of southwestern Ontario. Those winds gusting from the south at times to southwest, so warmer air pushing through the province, and that will mean, of course, a warmer feel heading into tomorrow at least. I think the silver lining, though, for many was that sunshine that started to peek through very early in the morning. And it's really a game changer when you open your eyes and see that the sun is already out before you even woke up. And that, of course, is in part because of those clouds that started to dissipate earlier into the morning. And along with that, the clock's falling back yesterday, meaning an extra hour of sleep for many Canadians. The trade-off, of course, is that the days are now shorter. So that sun sets tomorrow at 5:07 p.m. Now, I hope you enjoyed some of those sunny breaks today, because did I mention we have rain on the way tomorrow? It's not going to last very long, but it will mean a cloudy start to your Monday, and then that wet weather rolls in the late morning. So think 11 a.m. around the Toronto region. Very quickly it will be over before the late afternoon, and you'll get some sunny breaks for the GTHA. Our friends in Cottage Country and further east, you guys will linger in that wet weather for a little while longer. So if you're in Toronto and the GTHA, don't let that wet weather ruin your day. Certainly do enjoy that sun when it starts to peek through after that rain has passed. Do be mindful, though, of the strong gusting winds at times near the 65-kilometer-per-hour range in Toronto. Kevin?
Thanks, Noor. Sky Tracker weather with Noor Rafat. Noor, there's a dark cloud over the country, and it might not have anything to do with the weather.
Yeah, that is indeed the case, Kevin. I think many fans heartbroken today, despite some seeing some sunshine, dry skies. Fans' eyes definitely not dry with that Jays loss last night.
It was tough to watch.
Yeah, I will say, though, it's nice to see the pride in the Jays continue. Many taking a glass half full approach to it, saying that we made it this far. That's good news in and of itself. It was a historic run. So nice to see that, and hopefully some of the sunshine in the forecast brings more smiles to fans' faces in the coming days.
Better days ahead.
Better days ahead, indeed. Well, the sun returns tomorrow, but later on in the afternoon. First, we have to get through some cloud cover and some wet weather, although it will be very brief. Something to note, though, is those strong gusting winds. They will be there since the early morning, but it could get quite intense into that late morning and afternoon hour. Up to 65-kilometer-per-hour gusts could be possible in the Toronto region and other parts of southern Ontario. So hold on to your hats while you're heading out to work. And, of course, as you head back out towards when you finish up your shift and head home later on in the afternoon. We've been seeing some sunny breaks for some lucky communities today in this side of the country, and that's been good news after what was a dreary start to the weekend, the end of the week for many. That is something that we've been celebrating, but in the next few days, it seems like a common theme will be the on and off wet weather. So you're going to see some wet weather roll in by Monday. It moves out, a chance to see some sunshine again. And then the wet weather moves in again, and then the sunshine. You get the point. But Monday starts off, as we mentioned, cloudy, mostly dry in Toronto, potentially some showers around the Niagara Falls region, and then you get into that wet weather lingering in the east and into Cottage Country later on into your Monday evening and potentially into your Tuesday morning as well. But you'll see there will be some sunshine in the wake of this by the afternoon. So Tuesday looking gorgeous, and then as Wednesday rolls in, you'll see that cloud cover build. Looks like we've got some wet weather, but more so for Cottage Country up to the north and up to the east as well. There is some snow associated with this as well. So areas like Bancroft, like North Bay, as you head towards the Témiscamingue region out in Quebec, those communities will be seeing some snow heading into Wednesday. The Toronto region potentially impacted by a few quick showers later on in the afternoon. So do be mindful of that. Again, it will be a bit of a juggle on and off as you head into some rainy days and at times some sunny days. The good thing is we'll see some consistent temperatures for the most part that are around the seasonal range. So tomorrow in Toronto, 11 degrees is slightly above. 13 is also slightly above, and I'm sure many of us don't mind that, along with the sunshine. 12 on Wednesday, 10 on Thursday with some sunshine, and then the rain returns for your Friday. Drier for Saturday, wet again for Sunday. 6 degrees your high with mainly cloudy conditions and a chance of showers. Hey, thanks very much, Kevin. Well, seeing those fans remain optimistic, positive about the Jays despite that loss yesterday has been a heartwarming experience, I think, on a otherwise cool day today. 10 degrees for that high, Waterloo, Toronto, Oshawa seasonal conditions, and slightly warmer as you head towards southwestern Ontario, thanks to some sunshine and also some winds from the southwest. Now, Toronto is dealing with a whole lot of wind from the north, which gives that cooler feel, but that's not the case anymore. We started to see a shift in that wind direction earlier into the evening, and that means warmer air is starting to push through, although quite slowly, and that's in anticipation of some warmer temperatures headed your way in the next few days, but also some wet weather. We are starting to see the signs here of an incoming low pressure system. The sun today was beautiful. I think many enjoyed that, and we will have more sun in this upcoming week, but we also have to deal with the incoming rain, and we're starting to see that cloud cover close in as this low pressure system makes its way into northern Ontario. It will be here by tomorrow in the late morning. So a cloudy but dry start to your day in Toronto, and then could see that wet weather roll in potentially 10, 11 o'clock over before the early evening rather. In fact, 5 o'clock you could see those skies clear, some sunny breaks. Not the case for Cottage Country though, and eastern Ontario. That's where we'll see that wet weather linger for a little while longer. So not expecting the precipitation to ruin your day at all tomorrow. What we want to be mindful of is the strong gusting winds, up to 65 kilometers per hour possible in Toronto tomorrow. Those temperatures at 10 degrees for your high. Kevin?
Thanks, Noor. Sky Tracker weather update with Noor Afat. And Noor, a lot of Jays fans are still pretty blue, pretty down in the dumps. Any sunshine on the horizon to cheer them up?
Yes, happy to be the bearer of good news for once, Kevin.
Wow.
Sunshine is on the horizon. Now, there is a catch. It's not going to be eternal sunshine. You're not going to have like 7 whole days of sunshine. You have to pay the price somehow.
Oh, dear.
And that means
what do we have to do?
some wet weather, some cloudy days ahead. Let's take a look. Well, the sun will make a return late into the afternoon in Toronto. I think 3 or 4 o'clock, you'll start to see it pop right back out after that cloud cover and wet weather rolls through. So it'll start by a cloudy morning, and then we'll see that wet weather. The windy conditions, I think, the big story here. So those gusts up to 65 kilometers per hour, potentially in the Toronto region. This will be felt across the GTHA and across much of southern Ontario, pushing towards the southwestern and eastern sections as well. The sunshine today was a very nice change for many on this side of the country, and this is going to be a theme in the upcoming days. Sun on again, off again, but also wet weather on again, off again. So I think if really I were to give some advice, when you see the sun, take advantage of it, go outside, soak it in, because we know wet weather is lurking just around the corner. And that is the case tomorrow, as we mentioned. Very quickly will this low pressure system move in and then move out for southwestern Ontario and the GTHA. Cottage Country, as we mentioned, lingering with that wet weather through the evening on Monday, even into parts of your Tuesday morning. Eventually, we'll see the sun return, a beautiful start to your Tuesday for many. And then as that day progresses, the cloud cover starts to build late in the evening in anticipation for round number 2. Rain for Cottage Country, snow as well. In eastern Ontario, the GTHA could get away with just a few showers later on in the afternoon. So again, not expecting a whole lot of accumulation in the Toronto region, but do be mindful of those high winds, which will pop right back in tomorrow and then again later on this upcoming week. 10 degrees in Oshawa tomorrow, 9 in Barrie, 14 on Tuesday. That's the warmest we can do, so slightly above average. 13 on Wednesday, still there with a chance to see those showers. The sun returns on Thursday, and then the rain returns on Friday. Saturday, drier conditions. Sunday, a chance of showers, seeing those single-digit highs make their way through as we head into the weekend. Well, a few select communities around the St. Lawrence River today got a chance to see a sliver of sunshine earlier into the afternoon. In Montreal, not so lucky, but if you did manage to see the sun at some point peeking in between those clouds, you are very one lucky individual, because in the coming hours, although we are seeing the cloud cover slowly start to part heading into the overnight 3 degrees, tomorrow Well, not looking like a whole lot of sunshine either. So it begins with a cloudy day, and we continue cloudy through the day. Along with that, the wet weather starts to roll in into the early evening and continuing through parts of your overnight as well. Temperatures, though, slightly higher than average. 12 to 13 degrees could be your high heading into the afternoon. And now, again, there was a lot of cloud cover today for much of the region. Communities closer to Ottawa, the Mont-Laurier region, getting a chance to see that sun before it sets. Much of us, though, looking at cloudy conditions, and along with that, an earlier sunset, by the way, at 4:40 p.m. now, thanks to that time change that occurred earlier in the night last night. Temperatures have been indicative of the season. 7 in Montreal, 4 in Quebec City, slightly cooler in areas like Thetford Mines at 2 degrees with that cloud cover and with some gusty winds at times. So we're seeing that cloud cover increase as we head into tomorrow. Wet weather begins in Val-d'Or, Gatineau region, and then rolls into southern sections of the province further east by the afternoon and continues through into your Tuesday, lingering in the form of wet snow for communities like Sherbrooke, just to the south of Saguenay as well, and that will mean a bit of a messier scene involved for those communities. There is a chance to see some sunny breaks in areas like Montreal, but then more of that cloud cover and wet weather starts to roll in yet again. So it's a very common theme across this side of the country in the coming days. On and off wet weather, along with a few sunny breaks in between, just to give you a chance to breathe. This one looks like it's packing more of that snow around Mont-Laurier, Val-d'Or, and even some mixing involved in the Gatineau region by Wednesday. So it's going to be an interesting turn of events as we head into the next few days, and your next 7 days will remain, however, slightly consistent with your seasonal temperatures. So 9 on Tuesday with that sunshine, 7 on Wednesday with that rain, back again to sunshine on Thursday, and then a stretch of wet and at times messy conditions Sunday, down to 3 degrees with mixed precipitation.